Graeme Peter Swann, born the 24th of March 1979, is a former English cricketer. Born in Northampton, he attended Sponne School in Towcester, Northamptonshire. He was primarily a right-arm off-spinner, and also a capable late-order batsman with 4 first-class centuries, and often fielded at second slip. After initially playing for his home county Northamptonshire, for whom he made his debut in 1997, he moved to Nottinghamshire in 2005. Swann played a single one-day international against South Africa in 2000, before losing his place in the squad. 7 years later he was chosen to accompany England on its tour of Sri Lanka as the team's second spin bowler, alongside Monty Panesar, and subsequently cemented a regular place in England's Test team, playing throughout England's 2-1 victory in the 2009 Ashes. In December 2009, he became the first English spinner to take 50 wickets in a calendar year, culminating in back-to-back Man of the Match awards in the first 2 tests of the Tour of South Africa and rising to 3rd place in the world rankings for bowlers. In March 2010, Swann became the first English off-spinner since Jim Laker to take 10 wickets in a match when he achieved the feat in England's victory in the first test in Bangladesh. In May, he was named ECB Cricketer of the Year. In 2011 Swann was part of the England team that claimed the No. 1 ranking in Test cricket, and between July and October that year was the No. 1 ranked bowler in ODIs. During the 2013-14 Ashes series loss, he retired from international cricket on the 21st of December 2013 with immediate effect. Career. Early years, 1998 to 2007. Swann began his domestic career for Northamptonshire. As a teenager, he was part of the U19 World Cup winning side in 1998, a tournament that took part in South Africa, alongside future England players Awais Shah and Robert Key. Against Leicestershire in 1998 he scored 92 and 111. His maiden first-class half-century and century, touring South Africa and Zimbabwe with the England A team that winter. Swann took 21 wickets at 25.61 and averaged 22 with the bat. Wisden commented, "Swann did spin the ball appreciably and emerged as a definite candidate for elevation. He had the potential to become a genuine all-rounder, with a wide range of attractive strokes, though he needs to use them more selectively." In 1999, Swann was brought into the England squad for the final test against New Zealand. He did not play, but featured in an ODI against South Africa following an injury to Ashley Giles. This tour also saw him miss the team bus once due to oversleeping. In domestic cricket, Swann scored his highest first-class score of 183 in 2002. Sharing a partnership of 318 with Northants captain Mike Hussey. 310 not out. He moved to Nottinghamshire in 2005, and finished the season of 2007 with 516 runs and 45 wickets, leading to his recall to the England side against Sri Lanka. While England fell heavily in defeat during the first match, Swann hit 34 to help seal victory in the second, and took 4 for 34 and hit 25 in the third as England took a 2-1 lead in the series. An unsuccessful tour of New Zealand followed, and Swann was unable consistently to occupy a place in the England ODI side. He remained in the squad but faced tough competition from Samit Patel, who had already taken his first ODI 5-wicket haul against South Africa in his third match. Test breakthrough, 2008-2009. Following a loss of form by Monty Panesar, alongside whom Swann had played for Northamptonshire, Swann made his Test debut against India in December 2008, and made an immediate impact, dismissing Gautam Gambhir with his third delivery and Rahul Dravid with his sixth, both LBW, thus becoming only the second player in Test history after Richard Johnson, also for England, to take 2 wickets in his first Test over. In the third Test in the West Indies in February 2009, he was brought back into the Test fold following the poor form of Panesar, and in this match collected his first 5-wicket haul in a Test. 5 for 57 in the West Indies' first innings, including 2 wickets in 2 balls. This was the second best performance ever by any spinner in Antigua. Swann also collected 5 wickets in the first of the West Indian innings in the fourth Test, in addition to a score of 63 not out batting at 9. He took 6 more wickets in the first home Test of 2009, again against the West Indies, at Lord's. This included 3 for 16 in 5 overs in the first innings, removing Devon Smith, Shivnarine Chanderpaul and Brendan Nash at the end of the one-day series against the same opposition. The England players were permitted to rejoin their counties in the build-up to the 2009 ICC World 2020 tournament. Swann gave a good account of himself in the World 2020, bowling tidily for his 5 wickets while showing the passion for playing for his country that, according to journalist Nick Holt, endears him to England supporters. Quote, "The Ashes, 2009. Swann had done enough in the year preceding the 2009 Ashes to be considered England's premier spinner, overtaking Panesar. The pertinent question was not whether Swann would play, but which of Panesar and Adil Rashid, the other 2 spinners in the England squad, would play with him." He went on to play in all 5 matches of the series. Panesar was selected for the first Test, but his bowling did not impress and he was dropped for the remainder of the series, leaving Swann as England's only slow bowler. In the first Test at Sophia Gardens, Swann hit a first innings 47 not out from 40 balls. His bowling was anodyne, failing to pick up a wicket in 38 overs in Australia's only innings, in which they amassed 674 for 6, declared with 4 centurions. But his second innings 31 helped England salvage a draw, as Australia were unable to take the final English wicket with Panesar and James Anderson at the crease. At Lord's, Swann was part of England's first innings slide from 302 for 3. Andrew Strauss 161 to 425 all out, and was only required to bowl 1 over in Australia's first innings, as England's seamers combined to bowl Australia out for 215. However, in Australia's second innings, after Michael Clarke and Brad Haddin had briefly made a mammoth 522-run target seem attainable, Swann combined with Andrew Flintoff, 5 for 92, to bowl Australia out, taking the key wicket of Michael Clarke bowled for 136. Swann took the final wicket of Mitchell Johnson, bowled for 63, to finish with second innings figures of for 487 and complete England's first victory against Australia at Lord's since 1934. At Edgbaston, Swann was only required to bowl 2 first innings overs, but nonetheless made England's first breakthrough, trapping Simon Katich LBW to end an 85-run opening partnership. With the bat, he contributed 24 from 20 balls as England's lower middle order powered the side to a 113-run first innings lead. And with England pursuing victory, he clean bowled Ricky Ponting with a sharply turning off break. But on the final day his bowling was anodyne, failing to take another wicket as Australia drew the match with ease. losing only 3 wickets on the final day. At Headingley, Swann made a duck in England's first innings, collapsed to 102 all out, and failed to take a wicket in Australia's total of 445. In the second innings he hit a defiant 62 but could not stave off an innings defeat. England therefore progressed to the Oval with the series level at 1-1 and with a victory required to regain the Ashes. Swann took 4 for 38, combining with Stuart Broad, 5 for 37, to bowl Australia out for 160. He hit a 55 ball 63 in England's second innings, sharing a 13-over partnership of 90 with debutant Jonathan Trott, 119. On the final day of the series, Swann made England's first breakthrough in the 4th over of the day, trapping Simon Katich LBW. He claimed figures of 4 for 120, taking his tally of wickets to 8 in the match, including the final wicket. Mike Hussey caught up short leg by Alistair Cook for 121 to clinch the Ashes series. He finished the series with an aggregate of 249 runs, 4th in England's list, at an average of 35.57, and 14 wickets, second among England's bowlers only to Stuart Broad. Following the Ashes, the two sides faced each other in a 7-match ODI series. After losing the first 6, England managed a win in the final fixture. Swann took 5/28 in the match, his first 5-wicket haul in ODIs. South Africa and Bangladesh, 2009-2010. In December, England toured South Africa for a 4-test series, expected to be a close contest. The series was tied 1-1. Swann contributed 21 wickets, and was the leading wicket-taker on either side in country not historically suited to spin bowlers. Ashwell Prince suffered in particular against Swann's bowling, and was dismissed 3 times from 5 deliveries by Swann. His lower-order batting also proved useful, helping save 1 match, and his Test best knock of 85 in the first fixture was the highest score of the England innings. His performance in the second Test meant that Swann finished his first full year of Test cricket ranked 3rd in the world bowling rankings, behind Dale Steyn and Mitchell Johnson, as well as Man of the Match awards in the first and second Tests. Swann received a tied Man of the Series award along with Mark Boucher. England's next assignment was a tour of Bangladesh in March 2010. The ODI series was a 3-0 whitewash for England, with Swann taking 7 wickets, behind just seamer Tim Bresnan with 8, even with a weakened side, taking the opportunity to blood new players. England were expected to easily win the 2-match Test series. In the first match, Swann took his maiden 10-wicket haul in Tests. It was the first time an off-spinner had taken 10 wickets in a match for England since Jim Laker took 19 against Australia at Old Trafford in 1956. The pitch at Chittagong offered little for fast bowlers, leaving Swann with the bulk of the work. The performance, claiming 10 217ths from 78.3 overs, earned him the Man of the Match award and raised him to second place in the ICC's Test bowling rankings, claiming 6 wickets in the second Test to guide England to a 2-0 whitewash. Swann was named Man of the Series 2010 World 2020. Swann was selected in England's 15-man squad for the 2010 ICC World 2020 in the West Indies. During the tournament, Swann played in all of England's fixtures, including the final against Australia, where he dismissed Australia captain Michael Clarke for 27 on his way to figures of 1/17 from his 4 overs. In the field he alertly caught Shane Watson in the slips after wicket-keeper Craig Kaya-Sweater parried the ball towards Swann. Swann finished the tournament with 10 wickets at an average of 14.40, with best figures of 3/24 against South Africa in the Super 8s. Swann's performances won widespread applause for his ability to adapt to the different forms of the game and to retain control over his bowling. In May, he was named ECB Cricketer of the Year. The ECB declared his international career to be a remarkable 12 months in which his attacking, off-spin and hard-hitting lower-order batting have proved instrumental in one of the most successful years that the England cricket team has ever known. Quote, Pakistan. 2010. Pakistan toured England in August and September. Swann was ever present in the 4-match Test series which England won 3-1. Although he was only needed to bowl 2 overs in the first Test as the seamers bowled Pakistan out for 182 and 80. Swann also was not required in the first innings of the second Test at Edgbaston, before taking Test best figures of 6-65 in the second innings as England took a 2-0 series lead. At the Oval, Pakistan won by 4 wickets, though Swann did take match figures of 7-118. In a remarkable Test at Lord's, England won by an innings and 225 runs victory, despite being 102-7 in their innings, with Swann taking 4-12 and 5-62. The latter achievement saw his name go on the Lord's Honours Board for the first time. However, the match was overshadowed by newspaper allegations of Pakistan players being involved in spot fixing. 2010-11 Ashes. England toured Australia during the winter for the away Ashes series. England won the series 3-1 with Swann playing a vital role in holding up an end. He had success in the second Test at Adelaide, taking 7 wickets in the match and a match-winning 5-wicket haul. He finished the series with 15 wickets at an average of 39.80, economy of 2.72 and a strike rate of 87.6. These figures are much greater to that of the several Australian spinners, Xavier Doherty and Michael Beer, with the latter making his debut in the final Test at Sydney. Graeme Swann played a pivotal role in England's series success down under, with control and his wicket-taking abilities when needed. He ended 2010 as England retained and then won the Ashes series in Australia, as the second highest-ranked bowler in world cricket, and the highest-ranked spin bowler. World Cup and 2011 English season. Bangladesh, India, and Sri Lanka hosted the 2011 World Cup between February and April. England selected 3 spinners in their 15-man squad including Swann. England were knocked out in the quarter-finals, with 12 wickets from 7 matches. Swann finished as England's highest wicket-taker in the tournament. Sri Lanka toured England in May. In the first Test, Swann took 780 seconds to help England to an innings victory. After winning the first match, England drew the second and third to win the series. Swann was the second most productive bowler in the series, taking 12 wickets in the series at an average of 23.58, and was ranked as the second-best Test bowler in the world. England won the following 5-match ODI series 3-2. Swann took 8 wickets and in the process rose to the No. 1 spot in the ICC's ODI bowler rankings. It was the first time since Steve Harmison in 2004 that an England bowler had held the No. 1 position in either Test or ODI cricket. India toured in July. By winning the first 3 Tests, England deposed India as the No. 1 ranked Test team and took their place. England's seam attack troubled India's batsmen, leaving Swann little to do, and he was restricted to 4 wickets at a cost of more than 80 runs each from the first 3 matches. However, in the final Test, Swann's fortunes changed and he took 9 wickets. including his 11th 5-wicket haul in Tests, to help England to an innings victory and take the series in a 4-0 whitewash. A batch of new faces in India's squad for the subsequent ODI series was expected to prove a new challenge. However, England won the series 3-0. Swann was leading wicket-taker in the series, with 8, when the West Indies toured in September for 2 T20s. Both the regular captain and vice-captain, Stuart Broad and Owen Morgan respectively, were injured at the time, and Swann led the team in their absence. England toured India in October for 5 ODIs, after taking 2 wickets from 4 matches, and England lost the series 5-0. Swann dropped to 3rd in the ICC's ODI bowler rankings. Tours of UAE and Sri Lanka 2012. The new year began with England's tour of the UAE, where they played 3 tests and 5 ODIs. Against Pakistan, England lost all 3 tests as their batsmen struggled to adapt to Asian pitches, particularly the bowling of off-spinner Saeed Ajmal, on surfaces that suited spin bowling. 75 wickets in the series fell to spinners. He claimed 13 wickets at an average of 25.07, and dropped to 6th in the ICC's Test bowling rankings. England bounced back to complete a 4-0 whitewash in the subsequent ODI series, and Swann contributed 2 wickets from 3 matches. Swann was one of 144 players who put their names forward for the auction ahead of the 2012 Indian Premier League. Though he was one of 3 players given the highest possible reserve price of $400,000, he was not bought by any of the franchises. England toured Sri Lanka for 2 tests beginning in March. The series was drawn 1-1 and Swann took 10 wickets in England's victory in the second test. His worth to the team was recognised when the Professional Cricketers Association named Swann England's most valued player of the winter and gave him a £2,000 prize. Speaking of the award, Swann said, "It is nice to win any award, but it is especially pleasing to win one where you are compared to your teammates on hard statistics, elbow problems and recovery." 2012-13. South Africa's tour of England was billed in the press as the clash of the 2 best Test teams in world cricket. Though England had lost to Pakistan and drawn with Sri Lanka in the winter, English conditions were expected to favour their seam bowlers, and spin would play a less significant role in the series. At Headingley, England opted for an all-pace bowling attack, leaving Swann out of the side for the first time in 43 tests. In the event, Kevin Pietersen was called on to bowl 16 overs in the match and took 4 wickets with his part-time off breaks, and Swann was immediately recalled to the side. England lost the 3-test series 2-0, and South Africa took over as the No. 1 ranked Test team. Swann finished with 4 wickets, as many as Pietersen in one match, at an average of 77. Swann was rested for the final 3 matches of the 5-game ODI series against South Africa, which followed due to a problem with his elbow, and was replaced in the team by Kent spinner James Treadwell had previously filled in for Swann in ODIs when the latter was unavailable or rested. In September and October, Sri Lanka hosted the 2012 ICC World Twenty20. England were the defending champions but were knocked out in the Super 8 stage after losing 3 out of their 5 matches. Swann played in all 5 matches, managing 7 wickets, and was the team's equal second highest wicket take behind fast bowler Stephen Finn. A recurrence of an old elbow injury prevented Swann from joining England on the tour of New Zealand. In March 2013, Panesar took his place as lead spinner in the side, but managed just 5 wickets, costing 70 runs each as England drew the 3-test series 0-0. After undergoing surgery on his elbow, Swann was fit enough to return to the side when New Zealand toured England in May and June 2013. On the 21st of December 2013, Swann announced his retirement from all cricket with immediate effect. At this point, England were 3-0 down in the Ashes 2013-14 series. Bowling style: Swann is noted for being an attacking spinner, generally delivering the ball with plenty of flight and bounce. He is also capable of subtle changes of pace. Unlike many contemporary off-spinners, he does not frequently bowl the doosra. Instead, his variations include a well-developed arm ball, and also a flat spinner, slider delivery that he has nicknamed his flying saucer ball, that rotates around its vertical axis and generally bounces straight on. Swann also noted that he has a very different grip to the textbook grip of simply resting the tip of the index and middle fingers on the seam. He jams the seam as far as their second knuckles and almost coming out like a googly on the back of the hand on release. Because of this, he can spread the two fingers very wide apart. Commentator Peter Roebuck suggested in March 2010 that Swann's success has been due as much to his attitude as skill. He plays cricket like a man eager for a scrap and not too bothered about the niceties. He bowls like a man expecting to take wickets and unaware that finger spin had been consigned to the dustbin. At any rate, unless it was backed up by a mystery ball, a curious conveyance and bewildering progress. Swann had no such weapon at his disposal and still rose to the top. Personal life: Swann married his wife Sarah on the 29th of January 2010. They live in Nottingham with their two children, Wilfred, born the 17th of February 2011, and Charlotte, born the 18th of October 2012. He also has an interest in football and revealed on the BBC's Football Focus that he supports Newcastle United and Blythe Spartans. He is the lead singer of the rock band Dr. Comfort and the Lurid Revelations, which plays cover songs in gigs around Nottinghamshire. On the 2nd of April 2010 he was stopped by police in West Bridgford, Nottingham following a party and was arrested after providing a positive breath test. He was charged in June, to appear in court in August, and initially told court that he was on his way to purchase screwdrivers in order to rescue his cat from under the floorboards. Due to his cricketing commitments, the trial had several adjournments before he was cleared in February 2011. On the grounds that the blood sample could not be used as evidence. Swann became a summariser for the BBC's Test Match special in February 2014. Statistics: the column title, Match, refers to the match number of his career. Test 5 wicket hauls. Test 10 wicket match hauls. ODI 5 wicket hauls. Notes: Swann, Graeme. The 29th of May 2009. Sweet and short. Sky Sports. Booth, Lawrence. August 2010. The World's No. 1 Spinner. 11.7. The Wisden Cricketer. pp. 26-31. Graeme Swann at ECB. Graeme Swann at Cricinfo.